Hello and welcome back, my friends. I am Omar Creed. You can't see my face. Let's change that. Let's turn that on really quick. Yeah. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I'm Omar Krieg. I said that 5 seconds ago. Maybe you're gonna have a deja vu or something. This is the round three. Let me back up a little bit. This is BattleTech, Operation Revival, Divergence, placement trials. The divergence, of course, is the results of these trials versus what happens in the established canon of the BattleTech universe, where Clan Wolf by default is one of the invading clans, along with Jade Falcon, Smoke Jaguars, Ghost Bears, and then the reserve clans, Diamond Sharks, Steel Viper, and the Nova Cats. Of course, this is going to allow for a different direction, different clans participating in the actual invasion, as far as the divergence is concerned. This is the round 3 NPC match resolution. We've got a couple of NPC clans that need to have their matches resolved, so we have this abstract method by which to do so. And of course, once we're done with that, we will do the draws for the round 1 of the finals of the trials. And we'll talk about what happens between now and then. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. We have up first Clan Fire Mandrill and Clan Ice Hellion. You may have heard me say things like, I really don't care who wins here. And frankly, I really don't care. I've never been a fan of the Mandrills. I've never been a fan of the Hellions. I'm sure people that follow those clans are perfectly fine people. I have nothing against anybody. The Mandrills never spoke to me because they always seem the most broken clan in lore. And when I say broken, I mean like they're not unified. They are a microcosm of the clan culture within their own clan. It's weird. I don't even know if I'm using the right words to explain it, but it's a weird setup. The Kindras, or Kindred Associates, I think is the name for their subdivisions. It's really weird and difficult to follow. If you're not in my opinion, if you're not a hardcore Mandrills fan, you're not gonna really give a shit about it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Don't act like I've never been wrong. Um, but yeah, the Mandrills never spoke to me in any way. And then on the other side of it, we have the Ice Hellions. The Ice Hellions are known for being little, basically Clan Jade Falcon miniature and frozen. Mini frozen Jade Falcons were harmed in the making of this episode. I don't know. They have a temper tantrum, not unlike the Jade Falcons. Their Toman is kind of small, in some cases literally, because they use light vehicles more than they do anything else, and they have a pack mentality with their Zelbriggen ideas. That said, let's go ahead and get into this particular match, and for those that don't remember, the abstract method of resolution here is we're going to roll these dice. Each of these pairs, these 5 pairs of dice represent the individual challenges not individual challenges, the individual duels between the mech warriors on the battlefield. And then whichever number rolls the higher is the winner. We allow for +1s for skill differences, and we allow +1s for weight class differences. We don't have any weight class issues. Both clans, based on their rosters that I've been keeping track, like offline, have sufficient mechs to match each other up weight for weight. So the only difference here in this particular matchup is the Ice Hellions, and I forget which cluster this is. Actually, I have it written down here somewhere. Let me flip through a handful of pages. See if I've got that written down somewhere. I know I have I've got the book that would tell me this. I forget what the Ice Hellion cluster. It's not terribly important. Of course, in the lore, the Fire Mandrills cluster was a provisional cluster made up of various Kindra members, like representatives of all of the active Kindra of the clan there. But anyway, let's get into this. So we've got a +1 for the Ice Hellion because their units is considered elite, whereas the Mandrills, the provisional assault cluster, is a veteran rated unit. So let's go ahead and roll this and see what happens, and then we'll adjust the +1 for all the Ice Hellion side. Okay, so this will become a 3, that will become a 7, Won't matter. 3, 3, and 6. Alright, so first off, Ice Hellion. Wow, it's looking pretty solid on the Ice Hellion side. So he wins. He wins. We have a tie to resolve. The third one loses for the Hellions, and the last one wins. Alright, so let's do these two. Reroll that. Solid Ice Hellion victory. Now, I was in the past, if you look at this note card here, I had some rules for busted up mechs and killing mech warriors, but I think at this point it's kind of immaterial. And it's not terribly important in the overall scheme of things because as the GM I could just hand wave sufficient number of pilots and whatnot. So I think what I'm just gonna avoid or skip out on all of that, and we'll just add up the points really quick. So a heavy is worth 3, mediums are worth 2. That gives the Ice Hellions a total score of 7 to 4, meaning the mandrills get removed from the eliminations. Now, let me come up to this nifty screen. So the mandrills get defeated. Lost to Ice Hellion round 3. Oops. Take this, Control X, insert it here. Gotta do some wonky, what's the word I'm looking for? Some wonky Excel magic to update this. And then that was Ice Hellion scoring 2 points for this round. Actually, yeah, scoring 2 points, taking them up to a total of 7. Alright, let's get back over here. So we're going to take these off the table, and we're going to add in the Brocs. Oops. And they are fighting the Star Adders, which I, for some reason, don't have an icon for them. That's fine. The Star Adders are a provision, or a, what's the word I want to use? They are, the Clan Star Adder in the lore basically was like, well, if we don't take all clusters, then it's not worth the effort. But we will participate in the trials in order to make sure that nobody gets a bye, or something along those lines. So Clan Burrock is facing them in much the same way, except this time there is no point difference for experience levels or weight classes. Everybody's the same across the board, so we're just going to roll straight up and see what happens and see if the Burrocks get eliminated or not. Alright, so Burrock gets the first one, Adders get the second one, and the third one. Fourth one goes to the Burrocks. We have a tie in the fifth one, so let's re-roll that one. And the Burrocks claimed that one. So looking at possible points, Burrocks score 3, 4, so another score of 7 for the Burrocks against a score of 3 and 2 for 5. Which means the Burrocks continue. They gain 2 points for winning that round. So they're up to 7 points now. Alright, so we're going to stare at this screen for a moment while I make some updates. So Clan Burrock continues. They are in the loser's bracket. And then for the eliminated clans, we have... hold on, sorry. Let me update that correctly. Okay, so moving into the finals. So what we have done, this completes the preliminaries of the placement trials. We are now moving into the finals phase, and what that's going to look like is this. In the winner's bracket, we have Clan Coyote, Clan Novacat, and Clan Smoke Jaguar. None of those 3 clans have had a single loss yet. And of those 3 clans, one of them is a player character. That is Darius's clan, Novacat. In the losers bracket, we have 4 additional clans. We have Clan Brock, Clan Diamond Shark, Clan Ice, Hell's Horses, and Clan Ice Hellion. They've all lost once, but they are still active competitors in the tournament. And then lastly, we have 5 clans that have been eliminated because they have lost 2 trials at any point up till now. That is the Blood Spirits, the Ghost Bears, the Fire Mandrills that just lost, and then the 2 other players that are in this game, the Jade Falcons, represented by Foehammer, and the Steel Vipers, represented by Woldane. If you watched the previous videos, you'll have known that, of course. If you haven't, I just spoiled it for you, but that's what you get for skipping ahead. You should watch those videos if you haven't. There's some really good action, especially in that Steel Viper Hell's Horses match that Woldane and I completed last week. It was a really fun match. A lot of back and forth. We left the end of one phase, or one 2-hour segment, with the Vipers down pretty hard. We left the end of the second video with the Vipers coming back and looking like they could win. And then, of course, ultimately, as I've already spoiled it, more or less, the Vipers did end up losing. But you still should watch it anyway. There's some good stuff in there. Regardless, what this looks like for points is, let's check this. So we have, let's do this. So we have, obviously we have Coyote, we have Nova Cat, we have Smoke Jaguar. I need to fix the justification here. Alright. And then we have Brock, Diamond Shark, Hell's Horses, and the Ice Hellions. Oops. Oops. Whatever. And I gotta update these points because Brock has 7. Diamond Sharks have 6. Hell's Horses have 6. Ice Hellions have 7. So actually, when we look at points, let's do this. Oops. There we go. Now I can change this. 766. All right. So when we look at everything from a point system, fixing my formatting. Sorry. When we look at a point standing system, we've got Clan Coyote, Nova Cat, and Smoke Jaguar in a 3-way tie for first. We've got the Burroks and the Ice Hellions in a tie for, I guess, what is that, 4th? And the Hell's Angels. The Hell's Horses and the Diamond Sharks tied for, what is that? 3, 4, 5, 6th. Tied for 6th. Of course, the points matter insofar as choosing which corridor, who has the choices of choosing which corridors and all of that. And of course, obviously the quick eyeball glance of, well, I have more points than any other clan, so I must be in the lead. So we have that as well. Now, the next phase is the finals rounds. And I want to be clear when I say that. The finals rounds. This will be, what we have just completed is the preliminary rounds, and it took 3 rounds to get to this point. The finals rounds probably won't take 3 full rounds. It may, just based on how things play out. I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to have our first round, which will be the 3 winner bracket clans facing off against each other, and Star Adder as proxy as needed. And in the loser bracket, we've got the 4 loser clans facing off against each other to see how things go. And again, you lose 2 fights, you're out of the tournament with however many points you have, and that will determine our final standing as to who gets to choose which corridor they're invading and all of that stuff. With that said, let's head over to here and get into our match draws. And just in case you were curious, this is going to be a relatively short stream compared to all my other streams. So let's do the losers bracket first. We've got Burrock. Where are the Burrocks? Why are the Burrocks not in this stack. That is so weird. And I have nothing in there. That is wild. Let's make the Baroks about the same size as the rest of the... That is wild. 4. Do it like that. Alright, back on track. So we need the Baroks to go into the bag. We need Diamond Shark to go in the bag. We need Hell's Horses to go in the bag. And Ice Hellions to go in the bag. And then these guys kind of just chill out over here for the moment. Alright, so the way this works, of course, we're just going to draw until we get all of the assignments we need. So we've only got 4, whoops, we've only got the 4 loser bracket clans, so we're just going to draw. Winner, not winner, loser. We've got a Hunter Hunted. So, Barok, Ice Hellion, Diamond Shark, Hell's Horses. That is our first round of the finals losers bracket edition. And actually, now that I think about it, I may need to look at something really quick. Give me just a quick second, guys. I'm looking at something on the other monitor. Let's see. Preliminaries, finals, first round. Determine first round match pairings randomly. Use a proxy force as needed. Player wins first round, continues to the second round. Player that loses the first round is eliminated if that's their second loss overall. Note, there is no winners-losers bracket for the final rounds. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. It's been a little while since I looked at the book that I'm referring to here. Okay, so for the first round, if you win, you move ahead to the next round. So we basically will only have 2 rounds, it looks like. What happens is we may have a championship round if there is a tie. Something along those lines, at any rate. Anyway. Alright, so finals round 1. I've got to write this down, because otherwise I will never remember all of this off the top of my head. We've got Barok versus Ice Hellions. This will be an NPC match, obviously, because we only have 1 active player now. Diamond Sharks versus Hell's Horses. And then we have... So let's get these out of the way. Actually, let's reload tables here. This will be a little bit easier for me. Nope, go back. Alright, for this one, we have the Coyotes. We have Smoke Jags. And we have the Nova Cats. Take all the rest of these guys and kind of scooch them out the way for a second. And this one will be a little bit different because one clan will be facing the Star Adders, which are the proxy clan, to make sure that nobody has a free round, so to speak. So again, Hunter Hunted. To see what the random assignment is, let me go ahead and shuffle this, as it were. And then we'll just draw it and see what happens. Alright, first up, Nova Cat versus Smoke Jaguar. I had a feeling that was going to happen. And then the Coyotes versus the Star Adders. Darius, you may make your challenge when ready. You are the hunter. You will initiate the Batchal. Darius, I know you're watching this video right now. The Smoke Jaguars are absolutely coming out to play. You should expect all sorts of catfight shit to happen here. Just so you know. That said, let me write this down. We have Nova Cat versus Smoke Jag. And then Coyote versus the Star Adders. And there you have it, folks. That is our match draws for our next series of engagements. This will be the first round of the finals. The winners here will move on to the second round, and then based on their scores, the highest scored teams will be facing off against each other, and then the lowest scores facing against each other, and then whoever wins from that may or may not move on. Let me see. Actually, what does it say right here? Pair the so tabulate the score for each player based on the tournament scoring table below. Got it. Those are the points I've been keeping track of. Pair the lowest scoring players together and pair the highest scoring players together. Use a proxy force as necessary. A player that loses this round is eliminated if that is their second loss overall, but their tournament score may still qualify for them a place. Excuse me. But their tournament score may still qualify them for a place in the top 4 after final scores are tabulated. The final, or top 4 rather. Top 4, of course, referring to which clans are the primary clans invading the Inner Sphere, alongside Clan Wolf. Excuse me. And then after that round, if we still have ties, we'll go to a championship round. For instance, if both Clan Coyote and Clan Novacat win this round, they will have more points than any other clan on the board. And so the next round will have to be, after the first round, actually, that's a really bad example. I guess we'll just, you know what, we'll just jump that bridge when we get there. Let's just wrap that up. All right, so, again, we are looking at, let me scoot all these people around. So first off, we have, where are my, oh, I didn't bring the Buroks back in, that's why. Let's see, BattleTech. Alright, we've got the Buroks and the Ice Hellions. We've got Diamond Shark against the Hell's Horses. We've got Novacat and Smoke Jaguar. And of course, Clan Coyote taking on, not the Steel Vipers, Star Adders. But I don't have a Star Adder logo for some reason. Actually, I wondered, did I save one for shits and giggles in here? I did not. Oh well. So obviously this is not the Star Adder. But we're going to use the Steel Vipers for the moment. And now we're not. Alright, that is it. I unfortunately, as I said, this was not going to be a terribly long stream. I only had the... At first I thought it was going to be one NPC clan match resolution, but I was wrong. Somehow I missed the Buroks and all of the planning. But fortunately I caught it in time to fix the problem. And as it turns out, the clans that are up here are the clans that are all been eliminated. Let me double check that. So, you know what? Somehow we've missed the Goliath Scorpions throughout all of this. Just noticed that. They lost the Hellions in round 1. But they never got worked into round 2? That doesn't seem right. That does not seem right at all. Hold on, let me double check my notes. We might have a problem here, and that's may change things. So round 1. Fought the Ice Hellions. Round 2. Oh, in round 2, they were eliminated by the Hell's Horses. In round 2. And then round 3, the Hell's Horses went up against Steel Vipers and beat them. So, I don't know how as far as accountability goes, I missed that. But, it all worked out in the end. The Glass Scorpions are out. Let me go ahead and add them a column here just to make sure I don't lose anything. So first we'll do A. There we go. Alright. Well, as I said, I'm usually not this horrible at keeping track of shit. I do make mistakes, though. I'm human, folks, despite my best efforts to prove otherwise. That said, that is it for our stream here tonight. It was short. This video is a short one. It's just a kind of a recap video, as it were. Some big updates, of course. Two-player character clans, Jade Falcon and Steel Vipers, have been eliminated from the placement trials. And those, of course, that's the Jade Falcon and the Steel Vipers, which were prominent in the lore for the actual invasion of the Inner Sphere. The Steel Vipers later on, of course, being a significant portion of the pre-Dark Ages era for the clan homeworld. But yeah, some big changes there. But that's why it's called Divergence. Hey, folks, that said, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. If not, I don't know what to tell you, but if you did, please consider smashing all the buttons, liking, subscribing, and sharing, and all of the other stuff. In the meantime, we are going to get out of here. Stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a crazy dark place, so make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and yours. As for me and mine, we're out of here. I'm going to go play Dune Awakening. It's a great time. I don't know why I threw that in the recording. Whatever. Anyway, stay safe, my friends. See you next time.